Disney Plus.
Yes, our
So
favorite platform.
yeah, so we said last week that they've changed their terms of service
Mm,
to ban password sharing.
yeah,
Um, Now, just because it's been added in doesn't mean they're going to enforce it or they have to enforce it, but it means they can enforce it, which means they probably will enforce it.
yeah,
Um, and of course, it's difficult to prove password sharing, so realistically, the way they're going to do it is households,
yeah.
um, which is going to end up being a problem because we're currently using it in two separate households, three separate households, and it's going to be four when me and Jenna move.
Mm,
So that's fun. But they've not exactly had a thrilling start to quarter one of 2024, as it's been announced that after their price rises, they've lost 1.3 million active subscribers in Q1.
mm,
Now, what I will say
hmm
is a lot of stuff like that, I believe, does tend to fall off after Christmas. Because a
yeah,
lot of the time, as like a Christmas present, people will gift like a year subscription to a service.
mm,
And also, if you last Christmas bought one and it ran out this Christmas and you've had a particularly expensive Christmas, you might not have the money to renew yet.
yeah.
So that is possible. But 1.3 million is a fuck ton of subscribers to lose.
hmm
And it coming so directly after a price hike means that a fair whack of that is still going to be down to the price hike.
Yeah, I think for it to be that large in Q1, I agree. It's got to be from the price hike. Also, the password sharing news being more than just Canada now. I think, like we've said, what usually happens is this news comes out, they're doing password sharing. People make an account for 1 month to finish the shows they're watching and then they cancel. So it's like that will be playing into it. I think, yeah, just the current economy and people trying to save money, especially straight after Christmas. Often people will start the year kind of reassess their finances for the next year and make cuts and saves where they can. I think you'd probably find even some people over the holiday period might have signed up to Disney Plus because they knew there was family and kids round and they make sure they've got stuff to watch or
Christmas
Christmas
films. Disney,
films.
yeah,
Yeah.
Disney has more Christmas films than any other platform.
Yeah. So it wouldn't
So yeah,
surprise
no,
me if people are like, right, we're done with that. We don't need it now.
I'd probably say 75% of that is in some way because of the price hikes.
Mm,
And then the other 25% would be general fluctuation. I'm
yeah.
saying that as someone who doesn't work in this industry, I have no information to back that
Yeah,
up.
we're
I
just
just
guessing.
know I know a bit about like how the world works and how people choose to spend their money. Not all of that will be due to the price hikes, but some it definitely will be.
Mm,
The interesting thing, though, in my opinion,
okay.
is like Disney aren't worried. Clearly, they've just lost £10 million in revenue a month. That's what that is. That's £10 million of revenue,
It's wild.
and they've still gone out and invested 1.5 billion
Oh, in the
in
Epic
Epic. Yeah,
Games.
we'll leave Josh to discuss that a bit more next week, but they're clearly not worried about that. They clearly think when this password crackdown comes in that they're gonna end up financially better off.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they predicted. See, this is also the thing. It's like I know with statistics, people twist numbers to work in their favor. It's like how much of this has kind of like some of this fall off been hidden and then they're like pulled it from a previous quarter and they're like, oh well, it's like when it's just like a number hits and it's a longer period of time that it's happened over. So that's and it looks worse than it is or something. But also at the same time, like Disney makes so much money. It probably
But
isn't that big of an issue
yeah,
to them.
but like if in Q1 through 4 last year they netted like a million more subscribers every quarter,
Hmm.
one down quarter isn't a problem, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the time in companies, they compare the same period last year. So if
Yeah.
they go, okay, we know from the last 5 years running Disney Plus or whatever it is now, that in Q1 we always lose subscribers
Yeah.
because of financials, Christmas, whatever.
Yeah.
And they know it's normally X percent of however many people are subscribed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So say in the first year they had 1 million subscribers, they lost 100,000 in Q1 of the second year. They'd be
Yep.
like, okay, we lost 10%.
Yep.
But then it's got up to say 100 million subscribers. Now I'm not saying that's what numbers are. They're like, right, we lost 1 million. Cool. That's only 1% though.
Yeah.
So we're fine. So I don't know if maybe that's why they're not worried. They're like, yeah, cool. Q1's always a down Q. It happens.
Yeah, and maybe with the current economics, they're like expected to have a big they've planned for this.
They will have
Who
forecasted
knows?
this stuff. For all you know, they
Yeah.
forecasted losing 3 million subscribers, and they're all partying right now. Going, we only lost 1.3.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like everyone's reading this and going, "Oh my god, that's so many," but we don't know if they predicted they'd actually lose more. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, it's only a problem if they were expecting to gain subscribers and they lost subscribers.
exactly.
And again, like say, depending on where you put like the point of reference, changes that information so much.
Yeah, it's like
Normally
if this
they net
Mm,
1 million subscribers and they lose 1 million. That's like, oh, that's a bad month. If they normally net 10 million and they lose 1 million, who gives a fuck?
yeah, and it's like if the headline was Disney execs panicking over 1.3 million subscriber loss, then it'd be like, "Oh shit, this isn't good. They're not happy." If
Yeah.
we're not hearing anything, it's just a number that they've put out. Okay.
Yeah. It is interesting though, and it will see. I mean, based on what Netflix said about their password crackdown, it has seen an increase in revenue. People don't take to the open seas as much anymore, and I think this is actually going to become a bit of a problem. I think we might need more sea people kind of fight back.
You had to be careful about what you said then.
I just don't want to outwardly say it because it's one of them things that in the future just ends up being a problem and you just know it. But hey, a good hat when you're on the open seas is always worth considering. Because Disney are a multi-billion-dollar company.
This is true.
They don't need to force like the 10 people who use our Disney Plus account.
Yeah. There's better. We've discussed it many times, but there is better options than just doing a password sharing thing.
If they said to me, "We've noticed you're in 4 households.
Mm-hmm.
You need to buy a 4 household pass. That will take your yearly price up from £80 a year to £100 a year." We're not going to care.
Yeah, just give more options in, like for multiple households or multiple screens, and like people will pay that over making a new account.
Yeah, and I promise you, overall, they would make just as much, if not more, money doing it that way.
Yeah, agreed.
It's that simple.